Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Life's Milkshake Moment with health coach Joe D.
Well, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moments. I am Dr. Jody Bear, America's top foundational health coach. And I want to say to all of you that support this holiday, especially in the U.S., happy Labor Day. My labor for these 42 years has been in the foundations of health, foundations of living, foundations of hope, in all 6 pillars of human existence, starting with your spiritual pillar, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. With a client base of over 1 million pounds of toxic fat lost, I am just proud and honored to know that the systems and what I've been given with giving people hope, there's only been a 5% recidivism rate. And also in the COVID era, I've had the pleasure and honor of supporting over 2,000 clients to remediate and reclaim their health, because your body is a miracle-making machine. The body put in the right condition can heal itself. And that's what you do with your mindset, which begins your skill set. And today's esteemed and just expert guest is one of those. So get ready. Get ready. My personal quote says, when you take care of you and your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. You will take care of you and your world first with the wisdom, the insight of our guest, Rosalyn Palmer, today. And also, you will feel empowered forever. Les Brown says, it is possible to open up a whole new world for you and yourself. Just know that the access to these keys lies within you. I would add your mindset. But know that you have the power within yourself. Just know it is possible. It's possible. I'm possible. And you're possible too. So take my hand. Let's begin, because health isn't something you do. It's what you become on life's journey. On Mindset Mondays, as we've done here with Traverse TV for the last 2 months, we'll delve into the mental pillar of human existence. My distinguished guest today, Rosalyn Palmer, is from the UK. I just snapped her and snatched her all the way over from the pond. And I've got to say, it's going to be a UK week, because my guest from Milkshake Moments on Thursday is also from the UK. Isn't that just amazing? That's law of attraction for sure. But Rosalyn is a clinical psychologist. She's a fellow author with Ignite. And I'll tell you something, her mindset, her professionalism, her skill set ignited me the first time I met you. Have you ever met people like that? You just go, wow. Well, you're going to go, wow, right here, right now. And we will experience Rosalyn Palmer here on Traverse TV in just a minute, right after our wonderful commercial from our, yes, it's Ignite. It's an Ignite day. Ignite Publishing, our sponsor, right here on our Healthopedia channel. Check this out.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.
Tell your story, ignite humanity, ignite your life. And boy, you are just about ready to get ignited by Rosalyn Palmer. I will absolutely guarantee it. Now, you see on the ticker below, just like PBS, we have our Traverse TV platform. So if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, just be a patron. Just really just feel about that movement, feel about going ahead and just being a part of it, just like PBS, like I said, that you can go ahead and just go to Cash App, go to PayPal, go to my Venmo account, and just know that a portion of this goes to support not only this program, but it also goes to my charity, La Casa Ropa de Sobre in Colombia. So let's begin on our journey of igniting humanity, starting with the Rosalyn Palmer, who ignited me and has ignited many in her practice. She's an award-winning transformational therapist and coach. She has a private practice in the UK, and she's offering advanced, rapid transformational therapy, clinical hypnotherapy, and NLP. She is a trifecta in the mental mindset world. She helps high-performing businessmen and women to live their lives that feel good. And so they feel good on the inside as well as they look on the outside. When you take care of you and your world first, the world is empowered forever. Just like my previous quote. She does this. She embodies this. She's an active emotional well-being spokesperson. She's an expert commentator for her own radio show, Girls Around Town. Doesn't that sound fun? A monthly newspaper columnist. So she's a columnist. She's a podcast series and award-winning self-help book herself. In her solo book, Reset. Don't we like that? A blueprint for a better life. I'm sure she's going to tell you how you can get a copy of that as well. And she has co-authored in the compilation series with Ignite Publishing 3 books. Ignite Your Female Leadership, Ignite Life for Women, Ignite Female Change Makers, because she is a change maker. She is just a remarkable woman, a remarkable health and heart-centered woman in her mental health segment. But she makes the emotional well-being and advice. She gives it both heartfelt and practical. She's an expert and she's relatable. And most importantly, she owns sheep. So we're going to find out about that for sure. Welcome, Rosalyn, to Mindset Mondays.
Thank you, and happy Labor Day.
Yes. And you're doing it with love. I gave the quote. I said, when to my previous room, Rosalyn, I said, when you love, you're not in labor. And when you're labor, and when you labor, do it in love. So I love that quote behind you, but we're going to start out with the most important thing. Do you really own sheep?
I do. I have 8.
Oh my
God. They've got super random names because I had an original 6 and I named them after, they were all female to start with, and I named them after the top 6 all-time selling female authors. So we have Jane for Jane Austen, Agatha for Agatha Christie, Charlotte for Charlotte Bronte, Mary for Mary Shelley. You get the idea. I have a literary background, but as seasons have come and go, we've lost a couple and gained a couple. I've just got very random names now. So I think now I'm looking out at them. So I'm going to be able to name them. So I've got Agatha, Charlotte, Virginia, Zelda, Gatsby, Hastings, Reggie, because I had twins, so I did Ronnie and Reggie, like the craze in England. It's maybe not a good thing. And there's somebody else who's out of sight, so I can't remember. Oh, Harper for Harper Lee. So, yeah.
Oh, this is just as you would say, splendid. And
splendid. And yes, my partner bought them me for my birthday 2 years ago. So it's my birthday this week. So I know it was 2 years ago. So yeah.
Happy birthday early.
Thank
I
you.
can tell you the quote that I said about labor and love. Tell your sheep, your sheepess, Jane that it was her quote because it was from Jane Austen. So there you go.
You can't go wrong with it, can you? So I also have turkeys and chickens and dogs and cats, and they're all pets, just so you know. We don't eat any of them. So yes, that is my mental well-being.
And so I'm thinking that you do some RTT therapy with them as well. But my goodness gracious, I guess I always start out with my guests. Tell us a little bit about you. Well, we heard about your pets. Fill in any of the blank spaces with the radiant Rosalyn Palmer. You just look lovely, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, this. I don't care. I'm going to say it. I am 61 on Friday. And I have to say, I'm really loving this now. It's like, because here's how the conversation goes now. I talk to people and I go, hey, it's my birthday. And they go, oh, how old are you? And I go, oh, I'm going to be 61. And then they go, oh, really? And I do not get tired of hearing that. I have to say, I absolutely do not get tired of hearing that. Yes, so I'm a bit of a maverick. I am, you couldn't really make my background and past up. And I do see it all now as part of life's amazing plan and synchronicity. So I originally come from quite humble beginnings. I'm a grocer's daughter from Nottingham, Robin Hood, you'll all know, a regional town in the UK. Lived above the shop in my early years, but I was the bright kid. I was the one who was the SWAT, the class SWAT, the kind of, but I knew from a very early age that the only way I would, when I say get out of there, it wasn't like it was bad, but it was like there was, my parents both left school at 15. They all, my mother's mother worked in a mill in Yorkshire in the industrial north. My father came from generations of shopkeepers and then miners who went down the pits to do coal. We did not have people in our family at that time who went to university. And I was determined I was going to be the first, and I was. And I went to London and I sort of never looked back. And I fell into this early career of public relations. I mean, I went for an interview for a PR, not even knowing what PR was. And to be honest, I don't think many of us did. And then through taking risks, through being driven and through synchronicity, I ended up working for, arguably the world's leading PR agency, Lynn Franks, which that TV series and film Absolutely Fabulous is based on. And it was kind of crazy. It was a bit Wolf of Wall Street, I'll be honest with you. And I'm a girl from the provinces, it was all like, woo.
The girl with sheep now, my
girl
goodness.
With sheep now shows how grounded I am. I've never lost that. Anyway, so I then went through this glittering PR career, worked with royalty, worked with pop stars, worked with celebrities. This is very different
High end
upbringing. And then after a time in agencies, advertising, marketing, other things, I ended up creating my own PR company because I got made redundant in the early 90s when we had a really bad recession worldwide. Hello. And I sold that company 9 years later when it had a £1.3 million turnover. And I looked like the poster.
Okay, so you sold it for, what was that again? Back up.
Well, it had I started it with £5,000, and 9 years later it had 1.3 million turnover, and we won that award that you can see, the other side of love. That's best PR agency in England award.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Available. Absolutely. And I had an 8-bedroom house in London. I had a driver. We had a villa in Spain. And then I retired at 40 and moved to live in the Bahamas. So I looked like the poster girl for, girl done well from humble beginnings. But trust me, I paid such a high price for it.
Yes.
My emotional well-being, my mental well-being, my physical well-being. That several years later, cancer came, the divorce came, my life imploded. I ended up coming back 5 years later, a single unemployed mother with kids and no income. And so I was the archetypal story of having to then go, oh, this wasn't quite where I thought I was going to be at 45.
Whoa, yes.
How do we reinvent? So that's why the book's called Reset, because it was like I used to lay awake at night praying to God for like a big reset button that I could just hit on my life.
Reset.
And I then fast forward, I worked in training. I then was head of marketing for an international charity, the Leprosy Mission, you know, leprosy from the Bible. They're the poorest, most marginalized people in the world. So I spent a lot of time in Africa and India with these people, standing amongst these people in dirt and poverty. And boy, did it break my heart open to, you know, what was really important in life. But back up. In the 90s, I had a client who was a bit unusual in England. And my parents thought I'd joined a cult. They were like, you know, this is
she went off to the Bahamas. Now she's broke.
In the 90s, yes. I did the PR for Tony Robbins. And
oh my goodness.
And at that time, I spent a lot of time in the States doing his courses, and I even staffed a couple of them. I met Marissa Peer. I went to her for therapy. We became friends. So fast forward 7 years ago, she created this new, incredible, powerful hybrid therapy, RTT, that combines psychotherapy, clinical hypnotherapy, CBT, and NLP. And of course, I have a grounding in all of that from the 90s.
Of course.
And she handpicked the first people to train in it, and I was one of them. And I then became a trainer for 10 of the courses and helped put so much of that course together. And I'd never looked back. And what's great is my own life experiences, 2 divorces, financial loss, losing my parents in not great ways, the cancer I had, having it all and then not having it all of it has brought me to this place where, with all of that training now and mindset work, but with my heart broken open to what it feels like to walk in those shoes, also what it feels like behind that mask, when often it looks like it's all going on and you've got the big house and you've got the fantastic car and you are hanging on by your fingernails. I am that woman, because I know what life looks like behind the curtain, and I've been there, and I also know how to be your best and happiest self.
And Rosalyn, you do that so well. And I'm going, okay, all I'm saying is, once you get done with holiday, and since I have an hour-long TV show and podcast, Life's Milkshake Moment, we have got to do this again, because how did this time just fly by? 1 minute, I want you to concentrate on your creative center. How do you have and bring this? You've talked about bringing this all together. This is, ladies and gentlemen, one step upon another, one step upon all of life's experiences. When you bring it forth to the present, and you've done it so magnificently, no wonder I fell in love with you when we did that Power of a Woman Ignite Your Life event.
Thank you. Back at you.
What was that?
Back at you.
Okay, back at me. I love it. I love it. So you specialize in high performance men and women. How have you created that mindset presence with them and made it work? And then we'll go to the commercial break in about a minute. Just give us one example.
Yeah. Cool. Well, as a radio host, I'm pretty good on knowing what a minute feels like. So because I've walked in their shoes, because I've had the big house, because I was a millionairess at 40, but I know how broken inside I was. I know I didn't get to sleep without sleeping tablets, and, you know, and I was doing lots of good things, but lots of bad things. And I know what that feels like when you don't feel you can get off the merry-go-round of get more, be more, be more, get more. And so they like it. They love it because they know I've been on that path. And I obviously not only feel that, and I've been there, I have the compassion, but I also have the training to understand what is probably going on at a very deep subconscious level in their mind that's stopping them from moving on, stopping them from having it all, stopping them from feeling as good on the outside as maybe the house and everything looks on the outside, but they know the truth.
And you give the truth, and there'll be more of Rosalyn when we come back. So I just want to say, get ready for your Foundations of Health, our new project with Ignite. So Ignite Your Foundations of Health. It just got started this week. What is Ignite Your Foundations of Health? You will hear more about this later on when you watch another thing that I'm putting on YouTube, another thing that I'm putting on Facebook, because it is my project that I'm spearheading with Ignite Publishing, delving into all 6 pillars of human existence: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. So go to me at Health Coach Jody, or to find out more about this project, just go to foundationsofhealth.igniteyou.life. And now, speaking of life, we are going to get into the life and times of the Rosalyn Palmer Moore. My goodness. Reset. I want to begin with this reset, a blueprint for a better life. I'm sure it's life experiences that you put into this, but really, really, how did you just write this self-help book? I know there's a story behind there.
Do you know what? It's its 4th birthday today.
Oh my goodness gracious. Congratulations. Yeah. You've got 2 birthdays and you didn't even know.
It's 4 years since that book was published today. So that's nice, isn't it? How wonderful. For a long time, look, people kept saying to me, you should really write a book. You really should write a book. I think what I have, I'm very blessed to have, is obviously a background in communication, PR and marketing. I understand how to communicate. I understand how to take very complicated things and make them relatable and understandable. That was my gift, really, in the years I was in PR and marketing. Of course, you have to understand people. And of course, I'm working with Tony Robbins. I worked with Brandon Bays, Robert Holden, Edward De Bono, all of these leading people.
Big names.
Investing so much in me during the 90s that obviously I'm developing as a person, developing my mindset. I trained in NLP and hypnotherapy. But it's that juxtaposition of my ability to communicate and make quite complex things simple, and that deep mindset understanding, which comes from all my years of personal experience. I wouldn't be here now today, 100%, had I not made it my health journey to understand some of the things that happened to me. I'm somebody who was on Zopiclone sleeping tablets for 6 years and citalopram antidepressants for the following 3.5 years.
Oh my.
And that's more unusual in the UK, where we're not quite as pharmaceutically led, but that was my reality, that I needed, or I felt I needed that to kind of get through all the pressures and the things that were happening. So I know what those choices can look and feel like. And now, with my mindset, with my background, and with my communication ability, I'm here. So people kept saying when I'm on interviews, do you have a book? And I'd go, no, I don't. No. And I finally thought, I've got to do something about this. I've got to write this blinking book. So I wrote a blinking book. What happened?
A blinking book. I want you to get that. Was so cute. You're so adorable.
Write a blinking book. I wrote a blinking book. And very funnily, I'm a bit of a culprit. Blair Pascal says, I'm sorry I wrote you such a long letter. I didn't have time to write you a short one. And I poured this book out. I poured it out. I was very disciplined. I wrote for 2 hours every day for 6 months. And I sort of turned to my publisher and I went, ta-da, 80,000 words. And they went, ta-doo, we only want 50.
Oh, my goodness.
And it took me longer to kill the 30,000 words than it did to write the other 80, but it was good discipline. So it's a juxtaposition of my personal story and now my knowledge and my expertise. So it's a bit like, this is what happened to me. If that happened to you now, here's me telling you, as a therapist, as a coach, as somebody with this expertise, here are 5 ways to get out of that. Here are 10 things that worked for me.
And I mean, I want to just explore for about a minute. That is just beautiful. How did Ignite find you?
So, more synchronicity. My life is just one big synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
And I love it. I went to A-Fest. So Marissa Peer said to me, you really need to go to A-Fest. And I was like, what's A-Fest? And I think she described it as if TED Talks, Burning Man and Tony Robbins got together and had a baby, it would be A-Fest. And I was like, I'm in, you know.
That would be quite a baby.
That would be quite a baby. And it's quite an event. So I went to A-Fest and they had this buddy system. And they said, okay, here's your buddy, totally random, of all the people. Who was mine? JB Owen.
Oh.
And guess what? Here's the really funny thing. We did not find each other till the last day because they didn't give you any heads up. It was just kind of, you know, try and find that person, look at their badge. And I kind of didn't like her and she kind of didn't like me. And I think it was because we were both not in a great place. I was just going through a second divorce. She was going through a lot of stuff. It was late on a very amazing event, but I think we were both feeling quite overwhelmed. We were trying to process everything. And it was a bit like, and now I've got to make friends with somebody. You know, it was a bit like
random person that I got to look for the badge. Come on.
Oh, great. You know, so I think we were both like, oh, lovely, lovely, you know, cup of coffee, stay in touch. Off we went. We came back to the second day fest, or my second day fest, find ourselves sitting next down to each other. Suddenly we're like sisters by another meester. We're like kindred spirits. It was like it was meant to be. And so, of course, when JB started Ignite, not only did she talk to me and come to me for some mindset work about what was going on, but she went, Ros, you have to be in this first book, which was Ignite Your Life for Women. And so it was a bit of a no-brainer, really, and I did.
Well, and it's such a no-brainer that we spent this time together. I just want to know, do you have a free offer to offer a discounted offer? This is your website. I know that you are such a giver. I want to make sure that people know that they can contact you, RosalynPalmer.com. She is a very in-demand woman. When she gives you something, take it. That's just who she is.
So my core philosophy, which I won't go into now, would save that for the milkshake moments.
Yes.
Is that a balanced life is 5 Fs: faith, fitness, friends and family, finance, and forgiveness, and really fun as well. And I have a worksheet. I have an ebook, both free, that you can get on this. So they're kind of 6 game changers to change your life. A 5 Fs worksheet, absolutely free of charge. Check it out on the website. If it's not clear where it is, just drop us an email, hello@rosalynpalmer.com. I have a 7-week course starting in October. It's a quick, condensed version of a 13-week course I did last year, which everybody adored. That was called the Realigned Leader. It was for top CEOs. This is called the Aligned Life. It's all of my magic, all of my knowledge in 7 weeks at a third of the price of the course last year. And I've got an early bird offer. So that's the thing to really sign up for today, because places are limited.
I'm going to give you 3 A's. You're awesome. You're an A-lister. And we have been aligned with you in this Mindset Mondays. I'll tell you something. We will have you back. I've got a date selected already. And it absolutely was just such a pleasure and an honor to be around a true woman who's labored in love and loves her labor.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I got the memo.
Absolutely. Much love, Rosalyn. And we will have her back because she is just that kind of woman for today and always. She's ignited our life. She's ignited our show because she's a true transformational leader. She has transformed her life, as you heard. She's transformed for the betterment of humanity. And just know to join us for yet another one of these mindset moments with none other, Michigan's own mentor, Maynard Neal. He's a fellow Les Brown, a coached Inner Circle member. He will be here next Monday. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know to feel the real in your mind, feel the mental, feel your best, because whether it's in a business, whether it's personal, whether it's with that moment that you just have to align yourself, as Rosalyn talked about, it is necessary to know to do what only you can do and do it as though your life depends on it. Because guess what? You know what? It really, really does. So just take that moment, take that moment to check out my new website, which is Health Coach Jody on social media and drjody.com on my website. Just be a part of this movement, be a part of what we're doing here, because it is necessary that you do this, because doing it in your most efficient, healthy way will make all the difference. Do it in your mindset. Be the best. And when you are the best, people will feel you. So have a healthy and an absolute mindset kind of Monday, and let's do it the Dr. J way. Until next Monday, ciao for now.